Hello, Timmy Nafso here, Executive Vice President of FortisPay. We're looking at this trend that's occurring within the retail space, especially the big box retail space. You're watching large companies that have been around, staples in our communities, like Toys R Us and Kmart and other companies, CVS, that are actually some closing stores, and companies like Toys R Us actually filing bankruptcy and going out of business. And there's a lot of heated conversation around why that's happening. People are blaming Amazon, people are blaming the internet, but the evolution of business is not different than it's ever been in history. So if you look at how business started and where it went, especially modern business, what you've seen is, hey, these stores would provide value, right? And they closed down, the Toys R Us's of the world closed down a lot of the little mom and pop shops that used to be on the corner that sold toys, and their stores were only 1,500 square feet or 2,000 square feet with a very small variety, small selection. And Toys R Us comes in, and what do? They close them all down. And they did that by providing more value, more toys, a better shopping experience that you can find at the local store. So that evolution was very frustrating at that time for those folks because they blamed that big box for closing down the little mom and pop shop on the corner. Well, now you're seeing the big boxes essentially get hurt by the Amazons of the world. Now, what's interesting about Amazon is if you're buying something from them, you very well may be buying it from the mom and pop shop on the corner. It's just that it's somebody sitting in their garage or in an office or something like that selling these products. And what's interesting as well is a lot of these manufacturers no longer have to go through the retail channel to get to the consumer. They can bypass that entire retail channel, essentially providing the wholesale cost that would go to a Toys R Us type company and mark it up to the consumer. They can just give that wholesale cost right to the consumer and bypass an entire middle channel with the power of the internet now. So it's very interesting to see. It's also very scary, but what's the answer here? Why is this happening? And the answer is you cannot be complacent in business. If you're not growing, you're dying. And companies like Toys R Us have decided that they're gonna continue to just sell something that lives in a box, right? This toy comes in, it's in a box, and somebody walks in the door and they purchase it and they go home. And that experience worked years ago, but today it's not working. What you have to do is make it something that really wants to draw people in. As an example, if you want to buy a game for an Xbox or a PlayStation or a Nintendo, right? You can get in your car, drive, put your kids in the car possibly, drive to the local Toys R Us or whatever shop, Best Buy, whatever that may be, right? Risk a ticket, risk an accident, right? There's all these different things. Spend probably 30 to 45 minutes minimum, depending on the location of it. Get into the store, go to the area in that store, wherever that may be. Everything's locked up behind a cage. Wait for an employee to come, unlock it, get whatever game you wanted, go to the checkout counter, so on and so forth. Is that a positive experience for the consumer? And the answer is no, it's not. And the consumers are saying it loud and clear. So we could say, well, we don't like the idea that Amazon and internet and so on and so forth exists, but by the way, in masses, as you're starting to see more and more, we actually do like it. Anybody that's shopped online for anything is actually attributing to the closures of these retail businesses, anything that you've purchased online. So what does Toys R Us need to do? If they're forward thinking, what would happen there is they would say, look, we're gonna actually create an experience around toys. We're gonna get people to come into our store and we're gonna have workshops and learning around some of our devices and some of our toys. We're gonna have music lessons for the music toys, as an example. We're gonna have games, and then these people can actually purchase these different products and services, and it's gonna have a rich feel to it, something that you can't get anywhere else, right? And some people will say, well, that might work, that might not work, but certainly you gotta try to grow, and that has stopped. The Toys R Us model has been the Toys R Us model since I was a kid, and that was a long time ago, by the way. So what's really interesting to see is the shift. You'll continue to see it, and furthermore, the estimation, right, the prediction is that in the next 5 years, the kind of tier 2 and tier 3 malls, the 25% of all malls will be closed in the next 3 to 5 years is the expectation, right? You'll still have those big ones, right, that are there, but that trend is gonna continue, right? So if you don't change how you're doing things, if you don't give a better experience, than what is convenience or time that you can save somebody, the stores will continue to close. You'll continue to see them start to close doors, and the shopping experience online is going to continue to kind of beat out the retail experience. Please comment, please let us know your thoughts. Thanks for listening.